Football fans all over, and especially here in Alabama, know the name Bart Starr. He's the very first Super Bowl MVP, but the last few years have been a challenge for the entire Starr family.
4 years ago, he suffered a series of health problems that almost killed him. But if you know Bart Starr, you know he's a little stronger than that. Sports director Chris Brees live in studio tonight after spending a weekend with the Starr family. Chris.
So, Jack, tonight we saw a championship on the field. This weekend, I saw a different kind of championship. It's a championship of life. By now, you know the struggles Starr has been through lately. But the team he has built, yes, I call it a team, they're unstoppable, no matter what has happened in the past.
Bart Starr's all set. Starr's in. Touchdown.
Bart's such an inspiration to everyone, and he's the toughest man I know.
The guy never gives up. He is a true champion.
What is the definition of a champion? It's a person who defeats or surpasses all the competition. Well, 4 years after a stroke and 2 heart attacks, Bart Starr, he's still a champion.
His attitude every day, and I know there's some days that he comes in that he doesn't feel like it, he still has a great attitude and he still gives 100% every time.
Just like every championship story, this one has a few unsung heroes. Brian Burns is the owner of Cahaba Fitness, but his big job? Rehab a Super Bowl MVP.
I've been incredibly blessed to get to work with such an incredible guy that I'm still pinching myself getting to work with him.
In fact, you might remember one iconic moment 2 years ago, Brett Favre's jersey retirement. Bart was wheelchair bound, determined to make the trip, but only if he could stand up. That was all Brian.
It was the coolest thing I've ever seen, to watch that place erupt when Bart Starr walks on the field.
Brian has worked miracles with him, hasn't he, honey? Don't you love working with Brian?
Yes.
He makes you feel good, doesn't he?
Yes.
He does.
The other unsung hero.
And I put this here.
You know her by now. It's Bart's wife, Cherry. They're celebrating 65 years this May.
I tell him every day how much I love him and how happy I am that I married him 65 years ago.
You see, together they're all a team. They're rebuilding. Bart does rehab 3 days a week, mainly working on balance and fine motor skills. And his improvement from 4 years ago, it's incredible.
And I have to tell you something that really was sweet last week. He said, I love you, honey, more every day. I love you more on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in that sequence, which was really good for him. And I said, that's beautiful, but he doesn't love me much on Saturdays and Sundays. But I was so happy that he could do that in a proper sequence. That spoke a lot about how he's changed in the last few months.
So much so that the Stars plan on making another trip to Green Bay.
Bart's had such good improvement this past year. I think maybe we could make another game up this season.
But that's not until the fall. For now, there's work to do in the off-season, quietly, where the real winners are made.
And I always say he's the only famous person that I've ever been around that I've yet to run into somebody that had something negative to say about. I can't find anybody.
He doesn't have to take setbacks too seriously, do you, honey? You fight back always, don't you? I'm so proud of him, and he's always come back as a champion.
And you can bet the Stars were watching the game tonight, a small gathering of about 8 or 9 friends, much different guys from 53 years ago when he was a 2-time MVP. And Cherry told me the best piece of advice, 65 years of marriage. Always be kind. You can be demanding when you get married. Always be kind. And you see this woman, she is really the MVP of this family. Be kind. She's so kind to him. And he inspires everybody. I was talking to the trainer this week, and he said he's never seen a person where people light up and see him when they're around him.
Absolutely.
It was incredible for me, too.
Both Cherry and Bart, just beautiful on the inside and out, great friends to the community. And that's good advice for a newlywed, isn't it?
They deserve it, and all the charity that they do, by the way, they deserve the accolades. They don't want them to. That's the best part about them.
They don't. A star in more than one sense of that word, not just his name, and always smiling throughout that interview.
That's it, too.
Yeah, always the person you want to see. Chris, thanks for that.